Hello, everyone. My name is Reg Overman with Jackie Hendricks at my side, and we will be hosting our after the town hall meeting today, Monday, March the 8th. Today, we will be using this presentation to bring you up to date on our efforts to develop a plan for meeting Maryland's requirements for pool security. We took questions on Friday night from everyone. After you have watched this presentation, if you do have questions, you can email those in to office@queenslanding.org, and that'll be posted on the very last slide for this evening. Before we dive in, we have 3 different committees that have participated on this initiative, including Long Range Planning, the Reserve, and the Ad Hoc Pool Committee. There have been delegations of scope passed to each other over an extended timeline to advance our cause, and now we are tying it all together for you. Today, we're going to go over what is the issue, the solution assessments, anticipated outcomes, the solution we're recommending, and our timeline to get there. Somewhere around January 2019, an impromptu meeting was held at the clubhouse that included county, state, and the fire marshal to review our facility. The primary issue for the fire marshal was the fire exit out the rear of the clubhouse. This exits to the pool where a person could potentially fall in and drown. There is unfettered access from that door to the pool. This exit is not compliant to the new COMAR regulations. We are legally obligated to meet the requirements, or we will be denied a pool permit in the year 2023 pool season. Okay, on the previous slide, I don't read the bullets, but there was a few references for COMAR, and in our focus groups, we found some people that had no idea what that was. So let's take a second here and review actually what that is. COMAR is an acronym for the state of Maryland, and it's used for all of the regulations for all of their agencies, and each one has a numeric identifier as part of the COMAR. So for us tonight, everywhere you see COMAR, we're referring to the barriers and fences regulations that the state of Maryland has put out there. With a clear mandate from the state, the first inclination would be to erect a fence. But we felt like the state took us by surprise with this law and was not giving us the proper time to do financial planning. The stakes were pretty big for us. We filed an extension with the provision that we would keep the same operation we had for the past many years with on-site lifeguards until we are compliant. Our extension was filed in September 2019 and it was approved in January 2020 with a brand new 2-year extension. The extension was a game changer, and now we could financially plan the best solution for us and consider all the clubhouse elements that would be impacted resolving the COMAR requirements. We did a talent search for architects in 2019 and chose Becker Morgan as our partner. They met with us on several occasions looking at the options. They also met with the fire marshal to validate that their solutions would pass the COMAR requirement. In addition, Becker Morgan also recommended Willow Construction as a company that had direct experience dealing with the various pools, also planning compliance. We used both of these companies to guide us on our design options and construction solutions. So before you hear on this slide, this is the fast track solution. And we had this in mind in the beginning as we had no idea if our extension would be approved. So let's zoom in on this and talk about it a little bit. Okay, here we are. And let me open up my laser so I can highlight a few things. The first thing that we would like to highlight is what exactly is the problem now with the fire marshal. And if you look at this gate right here, this door right here, it's just a push to exit door. So anyone strong enough that you can just push that door open has the potential to come forward, fall into this pool, and then there is the possibility that a tragedy could occur. So the barriers and fences, we have fences all around the property here. So it's not that we don't have a fence. It's that we have a fire exit here that leads straight out to the pool, and that's where the violation is. So the fast track solution would be that we would just put this fence around here and call it a day. It's not, but I have to tell you, this is not a cheap option because this deck right here was inspected and it was considered end of life. So in this project, we'll be forced to erect this deck right here, replace it, and then spend all this money on this fence, which we think is not very attractive. And this fence has to have a handicap ramp. And so at the bottom of the door right here, there's a drop off. And that drop off dictates how long the handicap ramp needs to be. In this particular case, it's extending all the way across two of the windows in the gym, and it's going to be obstructing those views. There is a gate right here to get into the pool area for the handicapped. And there's another gate right here to come in that's located by the lifeguards where you can check in for pool and such like that. Couple caveats on this is that because this would be a new fire exit, we no longer have a place to store all this pool furniture here in the off season. So that's a problem we don't have an answer to if this, for some reason, we went with this option. Okay, so now let's zoom back out and all right. So this is kind of a summary on this particular solution. It's got some good things. It is the quickest way to come into compliance with COMAR, and it does require that we have handicap accessibility. The overhead deck will have to be replaced at the time we would do this. We will lose storage within that fenced area. We are going to lose space on the pool deck. It's not very big to begin with, but we're going to lose that space. And for the cost, it does not even come close to addressing the other repairs that have been building up inside the clubhouse. Okay, so we're going to be tag teaming this today, and Jackie Hendricks is going to come in and she is going to go over our treasury section.
You can do it. I can see here. You have you're good. I can see. Once we received the extension for the compliance, as Reg mentioned, we began to research for a better solution. Note, no major improvements have been made to the clubhouse since it was built in 1984. The changes, additions were poorly done, built, and not well thought out. As mentioned, Long Range Planning Committee was tasked to research an architect firm. After interviewing and meeting with 3 firms, Becker Morgan was selected and retained. At this time, it was noted the decks, especially the deck facing the Chester River, needed to be replaced soon, which we had thought was the case due to prior issues in our own inspection. They also pointed out the social room issues with the floor, hot tub area, windows, which concurred with what we were aware of and in the reserve study be done. The lack of air circulation in the exercise room was also pointed out. So to reiterate what Reg stated, and noting the importance, if we do not come into compliance with this new state regulation, we cannot open the pool. We have no choice but to fix the existing issue with the fire exit going out onto the pool deck. Unfettered access is not allowed. The fire exit relocation solution was discussed so that we could comply with state requirements by the deadline, which due to all the other repairs and maintenance issues within the clubhouse, we were given our best solution by Becker Morgan. We were then provided renderings of their ideas along with the concept drawings, which we then went through a series of iterations to tweak some aspects of the solution to be the best for our clubhouse. Upon many meetings of the ad hoc reserve committee reviewing the study, it was noted that within the next few years, the replacement and/or repairs that Becker Morgan pointed out were slated to be done. Again, if we do nothing, we close the clubhouse and pool. No choice. Working within the reserve study and the committee's work on said study, the following were designated to be replaced or repaired from 2019 to 2026 as they were at end-of-life condition or the renovation was suggested to be done. the deck, composite decking membrane, exercise equipment, partial replacement, exercise room renovation, sunroom renovation, which is our social room, the windows and doors of the upstairs of the clubhouse, and the chain link fence. In addition, it was determined in 2018 the doors in the Chester room needed to be replaced due to the condition and leaking occurring. That cost was added to the reserve projects to be completed as soon as possible. In 2019, the pool security was added into the reserve to be completed no later than 2022. Since the repairs needed throughout the building were scheduled to be done over the next couple of years, it made sense to combine those repairs and replacements at the same time in complying with state regulations so we don't have ongoing repairs in the clubhouse over the next 5 years, which would be more costly. The reserve study is a fluid document that guides us, and the ad hoc reserve committee worked the study to ensure the repairs, maintenance work are done in a timely manner, utilizing the funds and monies available, and that we do not go below our required minimum that we set of $400,000. So in summary, with the allocation made for doors and pool security, along with the line items above, designated by the reserve study, the funding for the pool security project, along with replacing, repairing of the above, will be covered by the reserve investment funds while maintaining the minimum reserve balance. Reserve funding for projects. Reserve funds are not only used as a means to pay for replacement and repair costs, but also used to renovate or upgrade. A reserve fund is an account to use for anticipated expenditures, particularly large ones. The committee broke it down to the following: components of our community, exterior of the buildings, property site elements, clubhouse elements, pool elements. Did a financial analysis for each line item addressed within the components. The committee reviewed the past expenditures, reached out to vendors, and did research to update costs so they were accurate. It developed a funding strategy, established a reserve minimum balance of $400,000, which will always be maintained unless, of course, some unknown or unforeseen circumstance comes up, reviewed project timelines, and adjusted based it on vendor recommendations, maintenance, and committee consultation and research. Reserve monies. As illustrated by the chart, which shows the reserve plan after accounting for all expenditures required for each year, both for this project and others in the community, like replacement of residential doors and windows, sidewalks, and roads, we have sufficient funds and reserves to cover all of this and not going below our $400,000 minimum balance. As you can see, starting in 2020, there was $613,000 with deposits and expenditures of $114,000, with our ending balance of $959,000. Going forward to 2021, with additions, expenditures through the end of the project in 2022, we end up with a balance of $828,000 at year end. Looking further out to 2026, we will have a balance of over $1 million. From this, one can see we have sufficient reserves to cover this project. We will not need a special assessment. Any bids we receive and we consider will have to fit within this budget. By addressing all the issues and doing it all at once, we only have construction within the building for 6 months rather than ongoing over the next 5 years. And most importantly, we retain the use of the pool and the clubhouse by coming into compliance and code. The board's purpose is to make decisions based on the best interest of the community, as we are elected officials to do so. As per our attorney who reviewed our governing documents, none of the provisions require owner approval applied to the required repairs to the clubhouse and to come into compliance. And not that we don't value the community input, but we have a fiduciary responsibility to do so. The project is not a change or use of capital improvement. The project addresses the end of life of the deck, among other issues, which in turn, if not repaired, the use of the social and Chester room would be shut down due to its being condemned along with the pool by not addressing the fire exit. Do we do it this way, all at once, addressing all the issues and complete within 6 months, ending up with the clubhouse in better shape and use and in code compliance? Or do we put a fence in now to only address all the other issues over 5 years with a solution that will spend more money to complete over time with subpar results? Which leads us to our solution, and Reg will take it from here.
Okay, everybody, I'm going to have to shuffle a little paper to get through these next slides. So, and I know the microphone is kind of sensitive, so my apologies in advance for that. Our committee is going to make a motion to the board on March 15th that this solution be approved to get the contractor bids, and then a second motion will be made to approve the bid prep work that will be required in order to get the contractor bids, and that would be through Becker Morgan. In hindsight, as Jackie articulated, is the way I look at this, and I hope this is the way everybody looks at this, is we have lined this up as a series of maintenance projects that we've kind of pushed together through the reserve, planning these to fire off in sequence and get this done in a 5 to 6 month time frame. And so there's not anything that we're doing in here that would require a community vote, because it's the maintenance projects. You got leaky roofs, leaky floors, you got dilapidated windows, that you got lack of airflow, all these things that Jackie mentioned that has been planned into the reserve. Is all we're doing is we're doing a series of maintenance fixes and integrating it to the fire exit issue, so we can just address it all as one piece. So in hindsight, we're kind of lucky that the clubhouse was in need of so many repairs, as it has allowed us to plan these projects along with the COMAR requirement. We actually have 7 architectural renderings that we are going to review. So let's zoom in on each of these graphics to discuss. This will be the new social room rendering. And today, though, in that social room, you can come over to about this area here and lift up on one of the rugs, and underneath it, you'll see a piece of plywood that's covering a hole where a spa used to be. So this used to be a non-walled room that held a spa. Because it was a spa, the concrete slopes so that water would have passed out, and it slopes on all sides, so it just kind of sheds water from the center circle. The windows that were added in there are dilapidated and are not safe. The roof up here leaks in several places. It is not climate controlled, so it is hot in the summer and cold in the winter. So what we're looking to do with is to fix all of that. And what we'll have is we'll have a level floor. So all floors will be level in the clubhouse. There'll be an exit door here with a handicap ramp coming down. These will be new insulated windows that wrap around the building on 2 sides. This is a pocket door where you would come in from the gym. It can be closed off so you have privacy from either side for those that need it. Now let's take a look at the other side of the social room. On this side of the social room, we've got our main door coming in right here. This is coming in from the main corridor. And then we have some amenities. So we've got a new TV here for meetings and events. We've got our sink, under-the-counter fridge, microwave. And this is kind of what we call a flex room. So you could have tables in here for games, or you could maybe have need it for exercise. It's up to the social committee to kind of figure that out. And the new air conditioner here will be right up here. And so this is a really nice design. It's going to solve a lot of problems for us. Okay, we'll zoom out again. And let's go over here to the right and look at the outside. So let me grab my pointer and kind of point some things out for us. So we mentioned that the roof is leaking, so this will get a new roof here. This will also become a new deck for the one that's at end of life that we mentioned earlier. We also mentioned that these doors here were leaking. They had water penetration coming in them, so they are scheduled to be replaced as well. Then there's the fire exit coming down here. This is the 2nd floor fire exit, so it comes down and exits into the parking lot. The 1st floor at fire exit is going to be coming out. Instead of being over here, this is going to get fobbed off, so this will be a secure. You can't just push the door open anymore. You got to have your fob to get out, which that really protects us from the fire marshal violation. You'll be able to have a push to open door here, and it is going to exit out into the parking lot as well. We did have transom windows here. We think there's plenty of light coming in. We didn't need to spend the extra money to put transom windows here, so that was knocked out, but we have beautiful windows here that are insulated on two sides that are going to provide plenty of views. You'll still have easy access to the grill area, and we've preserved all of this space here for the pool deck. So we're not putting a pretty hideous fence around this thing. So so I think we're really excited about that. It's a very clean design. We thank Becker Morgan for thinking of it and bringing it to us. Okay, so let's come around here and go into the gym area. And let me get my laser pointer again. Right now, when you come into this gym, this was open. This did not used to be a closed room. And when they did close it off, they did not give any consideration to airflow. So there's not enough airflow in here to accommodate it being sealed off. So that's going to be fixed. These windows here currently crank out. That is a violation because it could crank out and a kid could get through, and there he is in the pool. So we want to fix that. If you'll notice, there is only going to be one entrance into this gym, and that's going to be over here. So we're going to be reclaiming some square footage by taking out the door over here, and now we'll be able to put exercise equipment, all the way up against this and not have to keep, 2 lanes of traffic that we're servicing the 2 exits that we had before. I have another view of this that is kind of give a better overview of that, what I'm talking about here. So let's take a look. There we go. So here on this exit, this is where there was an exit door, and that was primarily because this used to be a spa, so they had this door here so that people could go to the restroom, and we think that's what it was for. Anyway, that'll be gone. There's a false wall here that was taking up about 2 foot of space times about 10 feet. We're going to be reclaiming that space, and then the vending machines are been out, so we're getting that space too. So we're really going to have, from a utilization perspective, quite a bit of floor space for all of our existing equipment. This is the corridor, the main corridor coming in from the office area, and this would then be the entrance coming into the new gym, and then right across from it is the entrance into the racquetball court. Okay, let's zoom out and zoom out, and we got a couple more of these to go. This rendering here points to, right now, this fence comes along this border with the grass right here. And this is a blind spot for the lifeguards. So the lifeguards do not know who's being let in and out of this gate right here. And so what we were going to do is we're going to push this fence all the way here so that it's adjacent to the pool decking. That does a couple things for us. One, it takes care of the blind spot problem, but now we get a 4-season amenity here. So we open up this whole space right here so that we can use it for picnics, outdoor exercise, whatever, the social committee kind of dreams up that they could use this space for. So we think this is a great idea. Okay, we'll zoom out of that. And here we want to kind of spend a little time, because when you're looking at a single room, you don't really have the big pictures. This is the big picture. Right now, you're coming in through our normal entrance into the lobby area. There's the offices on the right and back. Here's the corridor coming out. Now the new fire exit is going to keep coming through here. It's going to go through this old storage closet that is pretty damp, still has some old equipment in it. We're going to get it all cleaned up. And here you exit out this push to open fire exit door and come out here to the parking lot. And now we've got some main entrances to some other amenities. We've got the main entrance into the gym right here. We have the main entrance into the social room right here. You can see where we've recovered this space so that we've got the space for the gym here. This is the original fire exit with the push to open door. That is going to go away. That will be a secured door. You'll have to have your fob to open it. And so this kind of gives you the big picture, folks, and we hope that you like it. It's going to be a great amenity for us for a very long time. So the idea is to do this right and not do something like they've done in the past where we're having to go in and rip it out. So we want to spend our money once and be done. Okay, And then we'll come out here and okay, so this is a review slide to put emphasis on the key architectural elements. So currently the social room is completely remodeled as a 4-season room. It's going to be completely tore down, and we're real excited for everyone on this. We're going to relocate the fire exit from its existing locale to the Chester River side of the clubhouse that we showed with the laser pin a moment ago. The exercise room will be reconfigured with a new hallway and new entry door to the gym will be built. We're relocating the outdoor fencing to align with the pool deck and to include self-closing fob gates. And we're creating that outdoor grass picnic area to be a 4-season amenity to the community. So there are consequences for this situation that we're all in together. If this slide is going to emphasize the consequences associated with no action. All of us as homeowners understand the maintenance required to take care of our homes, and our shared amenities are no different. The time has come for us to do some serious housekeeping, and this list tells us why. The deck replacement over the social room. Bear in mind, that is an emergency exit for the Chester room. So if we don't replace that deck, and it has been documented as end of life by the engineers that came out and looked at it, that'll shut down the Chester room. The exercise room, as we mentioned earlier, it has leaks and it has bad airflow. So it's our duty to try to maintain these assets for ourselves. The social room structure, if you're familiar with that room, you know how cold it is in the winter and hot in the summer, and those glass doors are kind of dangerous. They're easy to fall out of their frames. So we need to fix that. If we have non-compliance with COMAR, that's a no-brainer. The pool will be closed until we become in compliance. The pool cover is not considered a security barrier. We must secure this pool. We do have fencing around the border areas of the pool, but if we don't relocate that fire exit, it would force us to have to put some kind of a fence out there, and so we really don't want to do that. We really want to fix our facility correct, make the aesthetics look great for everybody, and that's what the reclamation we're going for. So when we look at our timeline, and I'm stalling so that I can find that timeline. Here we go. We started this project really in 2017 with several different committees. But I just put 2019 because that's kind of when I got brought into it. So at least for the last couple of years, we have been working with architects and engineers to help us figure out what our best solution is. And they've recommended it, and we are recommending it going forward. So here we are, we're doing the town hall, and then in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing our board vote. What we're doing there is we're going to be voting to approve that solution, and that solution is what we want to develop a bid prep documents for that Becker Morgan would do, so that we can invite contractors in here to tell us how much this would actually cost. And this would be that document bid prep time frame right in here. Then we would host a contractor open house. Then once we finish the open house, these guys will be working on their bid responses. We expect to get those bids in, review them, and see what the winner looks like. And we want to take that to the board. And this is going to be July 19th is when this would happen, on July 19th. And if they approve that on July 19th, then we would be able to break ground on this project around November, December of 2021. And we'll have it all done before the pool season opens in May of 2022. And several months before the deadline is due by the state. Okay. This is, we're going to wrap it up now. We just want to, summarize what we've been talking about here. And please bear in mind that we are only addressing the clubhouse repairs that are tangential to COMAR. Other projects like the Chester Room and lobby updates, plus the possible saltwater pool, these are all valid projects, but they're not necessitated by COMAR. So anything that we're talking about is requiring us to make adjustments to the facility in order to reroute that fire exit. So it makes sense that we fix the social room, fix the gym, and remodel that closet area so we could use it as a fire exit. So that's why all of that stuff is in scope. This was a strategic initiative where we took the time to explore the best use of our funds, and given the opportunity to reorganize the reserves to plan these projects in a sequenced manner. Taking this strategic approach will give us a better amenity, and no special assessment is going to be required. This is in our best long-term interest. Our residents are going to be better protected. We're going to have a comprehensive plan and a modern amenity for years to come, and we can rest assured that we're not going to have any of our loved ones falling into a pool because they weren't authorized to be back there. We're real excited to say that we're going to have a one timeline to start and finish this with minimal impact to the community. So we're going to be down for about 5 months, and then we're going to be up forever. So we're excited about that. This is really important to me, being a finance guy, is that we are protecting our reserves. Our reserve funding has been reorganized to meet COMAR with all clubhouse projects included, and it is protected to not go below our minimum threshold balance. And that is good news for all of us. So what we're looking at is that at this juncture, you guys know everything that we know. We hope all of you understand the logic and careful thought that has gone into resolving this situation. Our plans going forward will only cover step one. Once again, step one is we're going to have a board vote in 2 weeks to approve the solution that we're recommending, the option B, and that we're going to approve the bid prep funding necessary to go out and get contractors to give us true construction cost on this. The next second step is once we get those costs back, we'd have a board vote and award on that bid price on the July 19th meeting. And then step three, we would break ground at the end of this year and finish by May 2022 before the state deadline and before the pool season starts. Okay, Jackie, do you have any closing remarks that you'd like to make?
Yes, thank you, Reg. Contrary to any communication you may have received from non-QL board authorized means of communication, with allegations, insinuations, and falsehoods, the committees that worked on this project took great care to research all avenues available to the community and financially responsible for the betterment of the community within all applicable rules and regs. We have a state regulation that we are required to come into compliance and repairs to be made to keep our largest asset, the clubhouse, open. And I'd like to thank all those on the committees and those board members who attended the Long Range Planning Committee, Ad Hoc Pool, and Ad Hoc Reserve meetings to work on this project along with Tammy. We all worked through all the details, researched all the options, which without all the hours and hard work, we would not have accomplished this. And I can truly say great job. As always, those involved in this have the best interest in the community, all as volunteers. So thank you to those who are also the committee and board members who attended and worked with us in this journey to preserve the clubhouse and come into compliance with state regulations. Thanks, Reg.
Good stuff, Jackie. Thank you. Okay, everybody. We want your input and questions, please. After the board authorizes us to proceed, we'll get the bid numbers and look forward to sharing that with you. We documented a 20-page case study. We emailed that case study out to the board of directors today, and after the board vote, we'll release that case study out for you guys to be able to review. So this really is a documentation of everything we've been going through with all the different committees that we've been working together on, and it covers about a 4-year period from 2017 when the long-range planning was involved with it to where we are today. And I want to thank you very much for listening and being a part of Queen's Landing, and everybody take care and thank you. Give me a second to turn this off to watch me work.